Welcome to the Monks Academy, an educational channel where we explore the realm of decentralized finance so you can take charge of your financial future. A project powered by the Old Monks for the Old Finance community. Hi guys, welcome to another Monks Academy session. On this session, it's a very important session. We've got the Multisig monks together, and we're going to discuss the Monks DAO Fund. And hopefully, this episode gives some clarity on our plans. Hope on our initiatives over the next few weeks and months. Thank you once again to the OM community for giving the fund its seal of approval. So the vote passed on the 20th of February. The funding was received on the 25th of February. So we've received 396,336 Ohm tokens to be exact. At the time, it was equivalent to 32,000 US dollars. As you know, the Ohm price has been fluctuating, and the fund value in dollar terms has been fluctuating as well. And since we have not dispersed funds yet for specific initiatives, um, to ensure the fund has the available resources to accomplish all the initiatives that we had planned, we most likely will have to go back to the OMDA fund to top up OM tokens to compensate for the OM for the drop in OM price. But the approval was for 32,000 US dollars, so that's the basis. So it's not going to go in for another vote. Hopefully, I just want to shed some clarity on the start of it session on that. So before we speak to the master about our initiatives, I just want to give a quick overview of the purpose of the fund. So the main purpose of the fund, as O monks, we are responsible in helping to grow the protocol by assisting in the areas of marketing, education, and community engagement. So essentially, those are the three key pillars that we want to focus on for the DAO fund. So first, we want to bring accountability for initiatives approved by the home community. We want to ensure the initiatives are overseen to completion. And we want to kind of create a clear divide between the home finance early contributors and community-driven initiatives so as to not create any conflicts of interest that may arise, if any. So that's essentially the main aim and the main focus of the DAO fund. Um, so a multi-sig world was created for this purpose. We had to wait a while to get this all set up, as we had to wait for Java's course to go live with Icon 2.0, and Brian will shed a bit of light on the multisig setup shortly. But essentially, we have six multisigs who will be controlling the multisig's wallet, and will be dispersing funds for the initiatives that we have planned. Um, so we have the monks on the show today. We have Budweiser and uh, Poops. Hopefully, should be joining us very shortly. Um, they'll be overseeing the community engagement initiatives. We have Fez, who will be coordinating and overseeing the marketing initiatives planned. Stephen will be overseeing and managing the NFT collection and the initiatives surrounding that. And I'll be, as you know, helping out with the Monks Academy and overseeing the education initiatives that we have planned. And lastly, but certainly not the least, we have Brian, who without we would not have been able to set up the Multisig wallet and get this all going. So thank you very much, Brian, for supporting us on this. And he'll be managing the Multisig wallet for us, and any issues that crop up there, he'll be on hand to help us. So that's essentially the role of the Multisig. The monks will be controlling the Multisig wallet. Um, yeah, so that's essentially what I want to kind of give a overview and bring some context to the conversation today. So yeah, I just want to now just discuss about the initiatives we have planned. Um, uh, just right before that, I just want to get Brian on to kind of just bring some context and just get some idea about the Multisig wallet. And also, we'll be sharing the contract address as well after this session, so anyone can see if anyone wants to see the transactions or things like that. I'll share it as well. So yeah, Brian, I know it was there's a lot of work going on and things that just kind of give an overview of the multisig wallet, kind of the approval process and how many multisigs we need and things like that.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, for those who don't know, a multi-signature wallet is basically just a wallet that multiple people have to say yes before a transaction can go out. So, if you imagine you're using the normal wallet in your Chrome, the only person who has to say yes in order to send a transaction is you. So a multi-signature is different in that like you can have a bunch of different people who are on the list of possible people who can say yes or say no, and then you can set like a threshold. So if there's 10 people and you can set it so like 6 people have to say yes before a transaction is made. So that's basically what a multi-sig is. Um, and yeah, did you want me to like cover anything special about it? Uh,
Yeah,
I
just
wasn't sure what else I
maybe,
could say. Yeah.
yeah, maybe kind of just understanding like in terms of how kind of the contract kind of just anything really in terms of how like setting it up, like anything specifically that the community kind of needs to know about it, or is that
No, 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 I can say a few more things. So I I think last time when we initially set it up, uh, there's we basically anyone could submit a transaction, and what that means is you can basically specify the parameters of a transaction. So if we're trying to send some ohm to a certain place, then one person can like submit it, and then it kind of stays in a queue, and then we have to get a few more people to sign off on it. So in the case of the current setup, I believe that a threshold is 3 people, and as we progress, and if more monks join, or in the situation that we feel like we would like more than 3 people to sign off on it, that can be changed at any time. And yeah, it's just like a great way to do these kinds of things, because you can imagine like if we got a big stash of ohm, and we didn't have this kind of setup, and instead we basically send it to one person and trust that person to uh to listen to us in terms of how to use the funds in there. That's not the safest way to do things. And being able to use a multi-sig also it's kind of a bit kind of a bit, I guess, sad or something to say, but if someone passed away, or if someone got into an accident and they were in the hospital, um, you know, as long as we have 3 people who can sign off on stuff, I guess the wallet will live on. So yeah, if anyone has any like specific questions about the multisig, I'd be happy to answer more, but that's a pretty good um, overview of it, I think.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I think that was very well put. It's just that, like, uh, initially, I think a few months before I put the proposal up, and then we realized that we were initially going to go with Icon Safe, but then realized that Icon 2.0 was around the corner, and uh, yeah, so Icon Safe wasn't possible to kind of use it in the Java environment. So yeah, so we had to kind of wait and set up a makeshift solution provided by the foundation documentation, right, Brian?
Yeah, it took quite a while to set up because for a period of time, it was at least a few months, I think. Basically, smart contract deployments were just not possible between the transition from Icon 1.0 to 2.0. So we experienced some delays because Icon Safe was written in Python, um, and then even though it could have been translated into Java, we weren't able to upload Java contracts at that time anyway.
Mm.
So there weren't any really resources to update icon safe. So the foundation actually has a multi-signature wallet contract uh, that that they have written as one of the score. I guess it's like a library of examples that they have, and the multisig was one of them. So we were able to just download that code and then deploy our own contract and set it up like that way. So it that also took a while because I've done a lot of dev work within Icon, but nothing on the smart contract side. Usually just like making bots and apps and websites, which is like very different from smart contracts. So it was a little learning curve for me. Um, and we were able to get some help from fellow Rhizome team member as well. He helped us with, he helped me trying to understand how to get the contract deployed and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of why it was delayed a bit, um, but glad that we're online now.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, yeah, you such a champ to get this all going forward, that we wouldn't have been able to get it done. So yeah, thanks a lot on that. And yeah, we're pretty much set to go. Just want to now just move into kind of the specific initiatives. One such initiative that we've got earmarked, and we are, I think, very close to kind of launching is the marketing initiatives with in partnership with Digital Dev. Fez, maybe you can shed some light on how that's going and what that's all about. Hi, Fez.
Maybe an audio issue.
Yeah, Fez. Yeah, yeah, I think is hello. Oh, Fez. Okay, I think he's experienced trouble. So I'll just brief everyone. Oh yeah, he's back in. Let me see.
No, I tried to send him a message, but his status is idle.
Let
I
me
think
try.
he lost connection
Oh
somewhere.
yeah, he's
So
back. He's back. Hi, Fez.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
Yep. Okay. Sorry. It's just a bad time of the day for me. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
really pretty time. Sorry. Yeah.
no, all good. Look, part of what Digital Day is putting together is running some ads on Twitter around specific topics that we feel are targeting different user groups across the crypto ecosystem that use similar apps. So I believe we're using some community members to help make some of the graphics that are required for the Twitter ads, and then we'll spend a fair amount of the marketing fund on ads that run for a period for the rest of the month, basically. So that's really it in a nutshell from that aspect. And we know Digital Dave that's his profession. That's what he actually does. He knows it inside out. So it's good to have him on board actually driving, taking what's best, knowing the protocol, and then taking advice from everyone and kind of building the ads that are needed for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think yeah, we want to like just to add what Faiz said as well. Like yeah, we want to focus on the specifically on the borrow side of things in terms of our focus to kind of market Ohm to our main focus is to focus on crypto users, but not in the Icon environment. Uh, so not using Icon DeFi products. So that's our main focus because we thought marketing it out to complete newbies to crypto is one thing it's a lot more costlier in terms of getting them onboarded from marketing to onboarding. And I guess the other aspect is that we've seen crypto right now in terms of the retail hype has died down a bit. So we thought let's just focus on crypto users who are already in DeFi but not in the icon space. So that's basically what we are focusing on the marketing side of things, initiatives. Yeah, if guys, if I've missed out any aspects, yeah, do fill in. But I guess that's our main focus for this month. Yeah, then also the next aspect I really want to talk about is on the community engagement. Like that's where we really see that we need to kind of put more attention on to get more users engaging, sharing ideas, governance practices across maybe different DeFi protocols in other ecosystems. I just want to get Budweiser and Poops' thoughts on they've done a comprehensive documentation in terms of how we're going to implement that. So really exciting to kind of see that play out. They put a lot of work and effort into it. So maybe Budweiser, I can start off with you. How's that going, and what's the kind of initiatives we have an idea to kind of bring to the community?
Yep. Yeah, so for anyone, I suppose, that isn't familiar with the full draft of the proposal that went through, so we had really two kind of, it's point 3 and point 4 of the proposal. So point 3 basically is NFTs and OMM tokens for rewarding active community members. And then it kind of leads on to essentially a raffle then for those NFT holders. So we're going to be working, myself and Poops will be working alongside the artist, who's going to create. The plan is 4 types of different NFTs of different engagement, of different rarity, and essentially they will be given out to active community members, whether it be, essentially we're thinking is maybe one per month for extremely active, community members that have kind of gone above and beyond. So what I mean by that would be, people that, on a daily basis, they're in and out of the OMM Discord, they might be on Twitter, kind of promoting OMM. It could be in the forum where, we're discussing governance. Even the likes of these OMM Academy discussions as well. There might be members that we can see are in here regularly, actively asking questions and engaging. So that's something we really want to promote. So there'll be kind of two aspects really. We'll have $1,000 worth of OMM, which we'll be able to tip to members on the Discord. So we haven't gone into the gritty details of that, but most likely it will be, some of the more active Discord members within the monks. We have a tip bot set up already. So when we see people that have maybe answered queries from people from the community, or having really good governance discussions in the Discord, we can basically tip them OMM. And that's something we really want to promote because a DAO, we want engagement, we want a really active community that regularly are kind of helping each other out. But also we'll also be tipping, as I kind of mentioned there, other areas. It won't be just the Discord. So we'll be keeping an eye on Twitter. We'll keep an eye on the forum, which is also very important to get engagement there. And of course, Arush, when he's leading the Monks Academy, again, I'm sure he'll be tipping members that are engaging and asking good questions. So that's the one side. And then the other side that I mentioned was the NFTs with the artist who myself and Poops will be working with. So he'd be the expert on how many copies we'll be making. But just as an overview of what the plan would be there would be, again, now the NFTs will be kind of held back because they'll be something that would, to be for members that have really gone above and beyond. Now there may be different areas that we'll give them out in. We might do competitions, for example. So, a best Twitter thread, best educational content. And then we're hoping, as I mentioned previously, we could give one out like a rare NFT to, the most active or the most engaging community member that kind of really gives a lot to the community. They would be rewarded. The idea then is with those NFTs, what will give them value is essentially part 4, which Stephen, I'm sure, will be able to discuss afterwards. But essentially, part 4 will be a raffle. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm sure Stephen can discuss that. But essentially, he'll be buying NFTs off the market. So there could be Gangster Bets, there could be Project Nebula NFTs, and we will be doing raffles. So anyone that owns one of these OMM NFTs that have been given out will be in that raffle essentially and have a chance of winning different rarities of different NFTs on the market that will have value. So that's kind of an overview. We're hoping to kick this off soon enough. As Rush mentioned, we've put together, myself and Poops, our draft of a plan, and now it's really just to engage with the monks and see what we feel would work best to promote, growth of community and engagement. So I'm not sure if Poopster wants to add anything to that. Cheers.
Cheers, Baba. Poopsa, any thoughts? Any additions that you think?
Sorry. Go ahead.
So no, just to add to anything Bad Boy said, anything that any angle that you guys have like focused on, like in terms of when you guys are putting this together.
Yeah, so Budweiser wrote up this really great draft, and so I was really grateful for that. I didn't have to do much work, honestly. He did 99% of it. And I pretty much just kind of double checked it, but I think that I think the cool part about it is that after he'd written it and I kind of went over and gave it a once over, we came back and had a discussion about it. And from that discussion, I feel like some new ideas were born, and just kind of there's lots of ways that we can build on top of many of the things that Budweiser listed there in the document. And I think that my idea was, or our idea after kind of brainstorming, was that we could we could, to get the community involved. We had discussed when these NFTs are distributed at some point down the line, perhaps perhaps we consider doing something with those NFTs within the community, right, or within the ecosystem. So that could be anything from making a game to excuse me, to raffles and prizes and like I don't know, giveaways and things like that. Or I think that there's I think that there's a lot of cool things, because we're just now starting to see, kind of what NFTs can do, and I'd really love to explore like the new ways that we can utilize these NFTs, especially excuse me, especially here in such a young community and a young DAO, right? And like being one of the an icon ecosystem. It's a small ecosystem still, so I think like having that um, being one of those first projects to kind of explore those kind of things is really going to give us, I guess, a head start. Or I don't know. I think it'd be really. I think he came up with some great ideas, and I think that the fund is being used the way it should be. And um, this is good. And like in all honesty, I would be in favor of taking this to scale. Maybe like even a bit bigger than maybe a 2x or a 3x from what we kind of have here. So yeah, I think that there's some really great ideas that have been put in place, and what we really want to do now is like get the community's feedback and see like what is in what the monks and the community, right? So I think it's important that we all be on the same page, and uh, so we all have like a common goal that'll help everybody to work to kind of work together better. So anyway, yeah, a big thank you to Budweiser because he really he really did a great job with this, and it's been really cool to be a part of and like to see this kind of really young ecosystem start to grow is really neat. So can't wait to see more of this. And yeah, I don't know if there's anything I'm probably leaving out or.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head in terms of, yeah, it like the first month. As you guys know, this is a 3 month proposal, so hopefully, the next 3 months here we need to bring in, a different proposal. But essentially, what these first 3 months are going to be is going to be a bit of experimenting to see what works out, and we've got to, if the community is happy of what we've done in the first 3 months, then I'm sure, you know, we want to build, from this and kind of grow at scale as Poopster said. So yeah, really excited to see community engagement is a key cornerstone of how we want the protocol to develop and grow, because I think there's a lot of uh, room to grow on that sort of things. Yes, Stephen, just want to get your point, because NFT is something that's really cool, and we've got some really cool ideas on that aspect. Yeah, and also maybe you can shed light in terms of the structure of how will we hold in the NFTs and things like that.
Will do. All right. So we will be creating a verified monks account on Craft, in which we will have two collections. The first collection is the one that's already been highlighted by Budweiser, which is created by our own monks artist, the artist, with the various tiers as explained by him. The second collection will be a collaboration collection, so which means that we are going to reach out to known artists within the Icon NFT community, and ask them to design for us in their own style a monk related artwork. So that will be a second collection, and both will be used for the community engagement initiatives. And the third one is not going to be part of our verified crafts account, but this was also highlighted by Budweiser. This is market buying from existing collections to also use in our community engagement initiatives. So that's briefly what we have planned for the NFT part of our community engagement.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, yeah, having a very on one aspect is very unique Om monks NFTs, which I'm sure will be really valuable. We're trying to kind of create some utility in the future to that as well, and the whole purpose is going to be a limited edition as well. So that's one aspect, and then we're going to hopefully have very cool, collaborative NFTs with Gangsterbit and Project Nebula and the other NFT projects on the Icon ecosystem. So yeah, it's very exciting to kind of collaborate with that, and also I'm sure the community members will find it really valuable and useful to kind of be a part of it to engage on the own protocols. So hopefully.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
indeed.
on the just on the other aspects. So in terms of how the community can contribute, like firstly it's engagement, and then we will be in terms of next steps, we'll be the Monks Academy handle will be sharing what we discussed today, and then we'll be hopefully maybe by next week. Hopefully, we want to roll out the community engagement initiatives that Budweiser spoke about. So be on the lookout for ways in which how you can win and contribute to the engagement and the protocol in general on the Discord. So yeah, that's mainly it on the contribution side, and also I really want to focus on the fact that we want to grow the monks, and this proposal is for 3 months, but we want hopefully on the next proposal and the proposals thereafter, more active community members to join as monks, and we really want to kind of grow out and kind of give emphasis to active community members and reward them as well. So, and also the active community members should be given a chance to kind of be a part of growing the protocol. So this is the main purpose of the Darfan, and this is why we've not really worked out in terms of the next 3 months. How many monks are going to be part of the multisigs, and that's still up for discussion, which I'm sure we will discuss that closer to the end of the proposal, and we'll shed some light towards at that point. But yeah, be on the lookout for the next steps. I think the marketing initiative is also very close to launching. We're maybe about a week away from the initial launch of it. So yeah, so maybe in next week we will see more active initiatives planned, and the DAO fund uh, you know seeing concrete kind of steps of the fund being actively used. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to cover. If there's any questions, I know Donnie on the monks on the Om Discord asked us how we can um, put your application to becoming a monk. Right now, I've got the documentation, everything done, but right now I need to have a chat with the monks, but maybe in about a couple of weeks, we'll open it out to for new people to join in, because right now we've got our hands full in terms of launching the products and launching our initiatives. So we want to focus on that aspect for the moment, and in a couple of weeks we will open it out where we kind of evaluate more monks to kind of join in, because that's key part of the monks Dao fund. Any other questions, guys? If you have any questions, let us know. Baba, Stephen, anything that we would like to add? Oh yeah, Donnie is on. Oh, let me get you on. Hi, Donnie.
I think the NFT idea is a great idea. I think it simplifies things for maybe some non-technical, non-financial, iconists who maybe want to get involved but are too scared, or are overwhelmed by what Ohm does. So you know, creating a brand where, as a monk, you may be wanting to like elevate and like reach nirvana um by staying within your means and basically, sorry about that. Just gather my thoughts. So as you know, as a monk, you have to give up a lot of the things that you're like accustomed to, and like you have to stay rigid and do all these things to like elevate yourself. So I think a way to reward like iconists or members who like actually participate in Om by giving them different types of level of monk, like as they do more for Om and they're involved in Om, maybe they hold a certain amount of assets in Om, maybe they borrow a certain amount and they receive these rewards. They can unlock different tiers of monk status, and as they get higher and higher, maybe they receive boosted Om or they receive like a boosted kind of reward. And so just make it simple for someone who doesn't know exactly how to do DeFi, and just be like, hey, I just have to have this amount of money in here or this amount of this in there, or I have to enact in governance to just get to the next level and then become a higher monk within this tier system to get more points. Would be a good way to engage with the community. So I think, yeah, using NFTs and simplifying and making it the brand easy to understand for non-DeFi individuals would be great.
Have you seen somebody build something like this?
The closest thing I've seen to something like this is like it's more of a centralized in a manner. Obviously, like I am part of the Celsius community, and if you hold a certain amount of Cell tokens, you get a boost in yield that you make off your other assets. And but it's a centralized. It has CeFi, have DeFi now, but they verify their the accounts, and then they're able to check the query the information of like how much they hold in the account, what they're doing, how they're involved. So I'm not sure on the technical side of things. I don't even know if this is possible. Do you know what I mean? But it would be nice if like, hey, if I want to be a level 1 monk, I can do X, Y, and Z, and I'll hold 1,000 Ohm or 1,000 this or whatever, and then I'll get like an NFT that says I get this, and then I receive these awards. And it doesn't have to be an NFT; it could just be on the site itself. But a way to be like, if you go through the tier system of the monks tier system, the higher you get to, the more rewards you receive, and yeah, you get rewarded for the sacrifice you make, I guess, to like stay with the. No, it's not a sacrifice. That's the wrong word, but like to stay dedicated to the site. You know what I mean?
I think the easiest way to make something like that happen is to make ownership of certain NFTs, for example, which represent those tiers, part of the allocation of the distribution of the Ohm, for example.
Yeah.
Something similar like that. So it's just an idea. I literally just thought about it maybe like 10 minutes ago. So I don't have it all fleshed out. So it was just more like.
Yeah, it's a really cool idea, man. I'd like encourage you to continue to flesh it out and maybe even present it as something we could do. Because like it does sound really cool. Like, and then like to expand on that a little bit, like what I would do is I'd gamify it, right? So, get some. I'd even try to find somebody from the community to do some. We already have an artist here, right? But yeah, like some cool like artwork, right? And give your quote unquote players like I don't know, like a lot. Yeah, I'll tell you what a lot of people in DeFi identify with is like RuneScape. I don't know if any of y'all ever played. I didn't play personally, but like that old kind of like give them a player card, right? And like make it cool, kind of like a game. Give them quests and things like that. You know what I mean? Like I think that if you make something fun and rewarding and engaging, people are going to do it, right? And I think that satisfies all three of those when you do something like that. Make sense? Or am I just?
No, it does. That absolutely makes sense. It's I think leveling up is a I think an easy concept for most to grasp. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And the simpler we make the message, it's easier for people to just understand like what we're trying to do. Like, what is Ohm trying to do? Are we trying to Celsius has, reach financial freedom, if you will, right? Ohm could be like, what is the message behind that Ohm, and what are we trying to do for, like, I as a consumer, why would I go to Ohm, and what am I getting from that? That is something I'm still trying to, like, shape in my head a little bit, and I could think of, if we come together and, like, create a brand and know what we're selling, I think that'd be very helpful for us.
I wouldn't look at it that way if I were you. And this is just my thought coming from, like, from the world of DeFi. I was one of the people that was fortunate enough to be in a position that, like, when yield farming and stuff like that started, and even before that, I was into quote unquote DeFi. It wasn't really DeFi back then, but like, I guess what I'm saying is, I wouldn't approach it as a business. I would approach it as, like, a community, right? And the cool thing about our ecosystem is, like, literally anybody could probably come in and get involved. All you got to do is ask, like, and there'll be something for everyone to do here, right? So yeah, I just look at it a little differently, and I guess I don't look at the numbers. I think the numbers come when you build a strong community, right? I think that's the base of any good project. And that's just from my experience. That's what I've, kind of learned. But, but I do. I mean, I agree that you have to look at things financially as well. I'm kind of learning that now. We just launched a DAO. Uma launched a DAO, and we're finding, like, some employees aren't, shouldn't be earning what they're earning and things like that. And so you do have to kind of look at it like a business as well. There's got to be a balance in there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I 1000% agree. It's all about community. It's for me, I've had some non-Bitcoiners, non-Ethereum, and I get really excited about Ohm, and I'm, like, trying to explain to them it's a money market and what can we do, and they get lost, right? So something like, what's my elevator pitch for Ohm? Kind of, like, coming to, like, terms on that, like, if they ask the monks, what's the elevator pitch for Ohm? What is it, right? I don't know if we have one, and if we do, I missed it. I'm sorry. But why would someone use that versus Curve? Or now there's tons of money markets. There's on Alcala, and there's Near, and then every layer one has a money market now. And so I think messaging is important, especially, like, we do have a small community within Icon, and then there's the big NFT community that's right now, in my opinion, is bustling, and then we shouldn't ignore that community, which I think is great. So, like, an NFT, for example, like, if we came up with the Ohm Gangster Bet NFT, that if someone votes for Gangster Bet, they could only get this NFT if they do it through Ohm, and then we can collaborate with, like, maybe Studio Mirai becomes, we do something with them, or, like, Wonderland. And so all of a sudden we have this exclusive thing where, like, people can only get this NFT if they use Ohm to vote for P reps or something like that. And now we have this community who just understand NFTs and just understand pictures and JPEGs, and they just want that. Now all of a sudden they have an interest in DeFi. We can bring some people over, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I think like, honestly, I think the sales pitch if I was saying sales pitch for Ohm, is that this is, like, a really nascent ecosystem, right? And the chance, like, basically, if you get in now, you're super, super early, and all the things that, Icon's building as, like, a connector, right? Are going to be, and especially with the upcoming, like, chains on the new EVM chain and the chain on Polkadot. I think that, like, there's so much opportunity here. I think that's the real kind of when I look at it. If I was looking at it from, like, a financial side, that's what I'd look at it. And the prices have been depressed because the market's been shitty. So of course, I think that, like, yeah, you're basically getting a chance to get back in on a kind of like the ground floor here, and help actually build this ecosystem.
Yeah,
I think
agreed.
that's I think that's the what everybody wants is, or what a lot of the community wants is just to feel like they're a part of the project. And if you let them do that, like they'll do a lot of the work for you, right? And so I think that like putting the community to work is very important because that allows the developers to be able to just focus on developing. And yeah, like, and that's how I just kind of started out as just a community member. And you know, I was in the discords helping people, and just, you know, back then information was very, very valuable. So you know, trying to help as many people as possible. You know, the teams eventually see that, and I was able to, you know, get a job here where now I don't have to work outside of crypto anymore. So it's really been pretty cool. But like I said, you know, this what I see here in this ecosystem is what it looked like in some of the really young Ethereum based DeFi ecosystems. So yeah, it's really cool to see. I think that there's a really great opportunity here.
Yeah, and also to your point, Donnie, about like what's the kind of USP. Sorry, Bubba, were you going to say something?
No, I
I
wasn't.
was just
I was
going to say
listening.
that. Sorry. No, I was just going to say, just with Donnie's points there, pretty much all of them. Even what I had my call there with Poopster there a couple of days ago on what kind of how we're going to approach, you know, basically incentivizing engagement. Pretty much, Donnie, all your points you've made there, we touched on that even with Poopster, and I think all the monks have kind of similar ideas to yourself. So this first 3 months, I mean, it's only 1%. It's not a huge amount of funds. I find, well, from my point of view, it's really kind of a testing phase where we want to, you know, test out things, and a lot of it is what you kind of said there. So even with myself and Poopster, we had that chat about it. You know, we were kind of putting a draft of ideas together for the NFT side of things. But one of the things that really kind of stood out to us was, look, you know, we can put a draft together, but ideally, you know, there's so much that can be done. Like some of the ideas you had there are great, and that's kind of what Poopster was saying as well. That hopefully, you know, ideas will come from the community, and you know, we're going to start simple because obviously we've limited funds, and it's just to get things moving. But there's so much that can be done. It can be gamified, as you mentioned there. It can be, you know, whether you lock up a certain amount of money, like there's tons of different things that can be done. So we're hoping, you know, it'll start off quite basic and it'll kind of evolve from there. And a lot of it will be probably feedback, you know, from other community members. Or, you know, monks might come on. So you might have someone that has a really good idea and is like, look, I can actually get this moving. And I have this idea, you know, they've come up with a great initiative. So they could even be meta monk and they could actually, you know, lead that. Because obviously, you know, we're limited in terms of the number of monks at the moment. We've different expertise, but someone else might come along and have a better idea and, you know, how to evolve it better. And same with the market initiative. Again, that's something we kind of discussed. What are the USPs of OMM? So that's something we want to try and get across in Twitter ads, test out which kind of ones get the most traction and then lead with those. So again, there is, you know, points that we've kind of looked at. Like even at the moment, one thing with OMM is, you know, at the moment you actually get an APY for both supplying and borrowing, and that's not something, you know, you would standardly see. Like the fact that you're basically getting paid to borrow. Now, obviously, that can fluctuate, so there's still risk there. But that's something, you know, that makes OMM stand out. Again, that's just one kind of part that we're looking at. But again, it's these first 3 months are really going to be a phase where, you know, even with the Twitter ad campaigns, we will look at different ads, basically see which gets most traction, and yeah, kind of test, you know, which is bringing in more traction into OMM. And same with the NFT side, same with the engagement side. So yeah, it's great. I mean, the main thing for these first couple of months will be see what works essentially, and you know, have the community come up with ideas themselves, and we'll take those on board, of course. So yeah, thanks for all your ideas there. To be honest, a lot of them, as I said, they're kind of stuff that we're kind of thinking already. Like there's just, yeah, there's so much that can be done. But yeah, like again, as Boopster mentioned there, it's so early. The community is still quite small, and that's what we kind of want now for these next couple of months. Really focus on building up the community, rewarding active members. And when we say active, we're talking about like engagement here, like, people that are actually helping out the community, like jumping in, saying, like, people have queries, they're kind of jumping in saying, oh, well, this is what I've done, this is, blah, blah, blah. Same with the forum, like there is members that I see, even like Donnie, I've seen you in that as well, that contribute. So that's what we want. We want to have a really strong community moving forward. So yeah, I'm excited for the next few months, see how all this pans out. But hopefully it'll go well. And then, this is only 1% that we've put in at the start. So, I mean, if it goes really, really well, we can see that in 3 months' time, like the community might be like, look, this has worked brilliantly. Let's up it, to 1.5%, 2%. It'll all depend on how these first 3 months go. Take it from there. Sorry for the rant.
Awesome.
Yeah, it is
Oh, no,
awesome.
thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry, man. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
All right, so and
Yeah,
also
you've got.
Donnie, sorry, I've not forgotten about your application. It's just we just want to get the initiatives out, and then we want to then focus on looking at applications and things like that. So we've not released the application yet.
Oh, no worries, man. I just got in there. I just wanted to joke around with you a bit. We're all good. I'm very, very patient. I mean, I'm with Icon, right? So if you're with Icon, you got to be patient.
Awesome.
Yeah, you've got you've got as a community member here, you've got like a huge opportunity. At least that's the way I see things. Like, man, there's so much opportunity to come in and just get active and help build. That, like, once people start doing that, this thing's gonna grow so quickly. It's gonna be cool to see. I'm really looking forward to the NFTs.
Yep. And also look out for the marketing side of things as well. That's going to be coming up, and there's also Budweiser kind of gave a sneak peek of what we're focusing on the first month. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how. I think they'll get quite a few people kind of interested, but again, um, we may not see how do you say a complete onboarding in terms of users actively kind of on Ohm just by the advertising, but we want to get our focus also to kind of get more engagement on Discord and things like that, and from new users from different ecosystems joining in, with BTP coming, hopefully within the year, with Icon Bridge also expected in the next few weeks or so. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, everyone. So thanks again for your time. And yeah, be on the lookout for the video of this. The recording of this will be up within the week, hopefully, or early next week. And also, yeah, the steps that we've taken for the initiatives also will be shared on the Monks Academy handle. So thanks again for your time, guys.
Thanks, Raj. Thanks,
Welcome.
everyone.
All right, take care, guys. Bye.
Take care, guys.
All the best.
Bye.